Hi, thank you for tuning into my channel and watching this speech I have created on the wonders of Royal Caribbean cruise ships. According to Statista, the number of passengers carried by Royal Caribbean cruises worldwide increased by 12% in 2024 over the previous year. In 2024, the number of passengers carried by the company reached almost 8.6 million, the highest figure reported to date. That is a quote saying how passengers have increased for Royal Caribbean cruises. The number of passengers has not just increased for Royal Caribbean, but also for almost all cruise companies. I've been on 2 Royal Caribbean cruises, and both were amazing. They were filled with fun things and truly marvelous. I will be talking about Royal Caribbean cruise ships in regards to my experience with them. I will be speaking on 3 things which I personally think make Royal Caribbean cruise ships modern marvels: water parks and activities, the 7 Royal Caribbean classes, and the passenger capacity of them, and last, feeding those passengers. Cruise ships are modern marvels. From water parks at sea to the ability to house thousands of people, cruises are one of, if not the most coolest innovations of the modern age. Royal Caribbean cruise ships are full of activities, from water parks to surf simulators to sports courts and a multitude of ice, Broadway, and aqua shows. Royal Caribbean's fleet consists of 28 ships, all of which have a pool and 14 of which have some sort of a water park. Some of the ships that have a sort of water park have multiple water slides, including the slides Tidal Wave, Supercell, Cyclone, and Typhoon. A few of the Royal Caribbean ships also have kid water play areas like Splashaway Bay on board Icon of the Seas. Royal Caribbean describes it this way: this bigger, better water adventure features colorful water slides, water cannons, fountains, pools, and whirlpools for tots to tweens and their supervising parents. Another water park element on some ships is the Flow Ride Surf Simulator, which uses 30,000 gallons of water to simulate huge waves. All of the ships in the Royal Caribbean fleet have a sports court, which is used for a multitude of sports like basketball, volleyball, pickleball, and soccer. I had a lot of fun playing pickleball for multiple hours on the sports court on the Oasis of the Seas. Pickleball on board the Oasis was more than a game. It was creating friendships with fellow players, it was working on the skills that I lacked, but most of all, it was fun that I had with people I had just met. Royal Caribbean says the best cruise ships in the world serve up the boldest shows at seas, including award-winning Broadway musicals like Hairspray, Cats, and Mamma Mia. Royal Caribbean has 4 main types of shows on board their ships. They are Broadway shows, Royal Caribbean original productions, aqua shows, which are only on Oasis and Icon class, and ice shows. Royal Caribbean ships are full of activities, but without people on board, they would be useless. Next, I'll talk about the passenger capacity and the 7 Royal Caribbean cruise classes. Royal Caribbean cruise ships have the capacity for thousands of people, with Icon of the Seas having capacity for 7,514 guests. Royal Caribbean has 7 cruise ship classes. They are listed here from smallest to largest: Vision, Radiance, Voyager, Freedom, Oasis, Quantum, and Icon. I will be speaking on them from smallest to largest class. The Vision and Radiance classes are the 2 oldest classes. Vision is the oldest class, with the Grandeur of the Seas being the oldest Royal Caribbean ship still sailing under the Royal Caribbean name. The Vision class ships have a capacity for 2,400 to 2,700 passengers. The Radiance class is the second oldest class, and it includes the Brilliance of the Seas, which was the first cruise ship I was on. The Radiance class ships also have capacity for 2,400 to 2,700 passengers. The Voyager and Freedom classes are the next 2 classes. The Voyager class ships have a capacity of from 3,800 to 4,200 passengers, while the larger Freedom class ships have a 4,500 to 4,900 passenger capacity. The Quantum class is split into Quantum and Quantum Ultra. The Quantum class and Quantum Ultra classes exclusively have the Ripcord by iFly, which is a skydiving simulator. The Quantum class ships have the capacity for 4,900 passengers, while the larger and newer Quantum Ultra class ships can have 5,400 to 5,600 passengers. The last 2 Royal Caribbean ship classes contain the biggest ships in the world. They are the Oasis class and Icon class. The Oasis class is named after the Oasis of the Seas, which is the ship I was on for my second cruise. The Oasis class ships feature an aqua theater, central park, and an onboard zipline. The Oasis class ships have the capacity to hold 5,600 to 6,900 passengers. The Icon class is the largest class in the Royal Caribbean fleet and in the world. It holds the two largest ships in the world, the Icon of the Seas and the Star of the Seas. It is full of new and innovative things, including Category 6 Water Park, the largest water park at sea with 6 water slides, Crown's Edge, which is a Skywalk ropes course, and a jaw-dropping capacity for 7,514 passengers. With the capacity for thousands of people, Royal Caribbean had to think through feeding every one of them, and this is how they did it. According to cruiseline.com, Royal Caribbean ranks number 2 for best dining. Its subsidiary, Celebrity Cruise Lines, made the top of the list. Royal Caribbean has two main types of dining. They are casualty dining and specialty dining. I'll explore some restaurants of each. Casualty dining on Royal Caribbean ships is included, flavorful, and laid back. These restaurants are a small few of the total number of casual dining on board Royal Caribbean ships. The casual dining on Royal Caribbean includes the main dining room, which is a, quote, multi-level restaurant that in the morning is the perfect spot to enjoy a hearty brunch paired with refreshing mimosas. At dinner time transforms into a world-class dining experience with the menu that invites you to taste your way around the world, course by course. That is from Royal Caribbean's website. The Windjammer is the buffet on board Royal Caribbean ships. It is full of different cuisines from around the world. From Jamaican to Indian, the Windjammer has it all. Sorrento's is the pizza restaurant on some Royal Caribbean ships. This restaurant is filled with different pizzas from pepperoni to carnivore to cheese. El Loco Fresh is the Mexican restaurant on the Royal Fleet. It has tacos, nachos, burritos, and more. I liked this restaurant because it is right next to the sports court on the Oasis of the Seas, so I could play pickleball and then get a bite to eat right after. Next, we have the specialty dining on board Royal Caribbean ships. These restaurants have higher quality food for an extra charge. First, for the specialty dining, we have Sugar Beach. Though this isn't really dining per se, this is the candy confectionery on board some royal ships. It is filled with sugar in all forms. Second, Johnny Rockets is on board some Royal Caribbean ships. This is a burger and milkshake restaurant which has a, quote, cool retro atmosphere. Third, 150 Central Park is a specialty restaurant on board Oasis class ships. It is a very high quality dining option with an equally as high price tag. Fourth, welcome to Chef's Table, the most exclusive and elevated dining experience on our fleet, Royal Caribbean. This is the most expensive and highest quality dining option. However, it is only available on select sailings though, so you might not be able to experience the Chef's Table. These are only a small sliver of the specialty and casual dining options on board Royal Caribbean ships. Now, to conclude, Royal Caribbean cruise ships are amazing, from the water slides to the capacity for thousands of passengers to the expansive dining options on board. I loved both the Royal Caribbean cruises I went on, and I plan to go on many more. You should go on one to explore the modern marvels. Thank you for watching.